Alright guys and girls, Will here from ZaltekReviews.com. Today I'm taking a look at a new watch and a new brand. It is called the Scarifour and it's a dress slash sports watch, more on the dressy side I'd say, and it's from a company called Benjamin James Watches. Now the owner, Ben, he does have a lot of experience. I believe he was a lead designer for Forzo watches, and he also worked with Gakota. Can't remember the name of the other company or sister brand or whatever it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. See, my reviews prepared as always. Anyway, this watch then, what do I think of it? Right guys, you might have seen this, or you might have backed it even on Kickstarter. The price of them on Kickstarter was a lot cheaper than the retail prices that I'm going to explain to you. But there's two versions. There's a quartz version and mechanical, manual wind. Now, the only difference is the movement itself. The case, the bracelet, the measurements, everything's the exact same. I've got the quartz version here for review. But before I go any further, this video is sponsored by Benjamin James. I do have to return this watch. It's a prototype. But because their campaign was successful, they have promised me a watch of my choice. There's no point in me telling you the Kickstarter prices because that's finished. But if you did back it, especially the mechanical version, you would have saved £200. That's quite a hefty saving. Right, anyway, the prices that I've got. The quartz version comes in at 380 Great British pounds. The mechanical manual wind, blah blah blah, comes in at £660. To be honest with you, I think it's worth it. But as I say, if you manage to blag one on Kickstarter, good on you, because that is a true Billy bargain. Right, I'll give you the dimensions, my own dimensions as per usual. Now, don't be put off, right? You're thinking, oh, this is tiny. It doesn't wear tiny. It doesn't wear large either, but to me it wears perfect. And my wrist size is 6.8 inch, and it looks perfect on my wrist, to be honest with you. Right, case diameter 31.2mm. That's basically, obviously it's a square watch, but directly across, you know, just under the crown, straight across, that's the measurement. Total thickness of, leave it there because it looks a bit odd when you do that, because that doesn't come across like that. It's just my lighting. Look. Anyway, right. Total thickness, and it's the same for the quartz and the mechanical, and it's 8.1mm. I think that's the thinnest watch that I've reviewed ever. Lug to lug, and this is the effective lug to lug measurement. So I basically took it from there to there. I couldn't get a proper measurement from here to here because it's an integrated bracelet. So as it's going to sit on your wrist, I will show you a wrist shot later. It is 44.1mm. Lug lid, integrated bracelet, so it doesn't matter. You're never going to take the bracelet off anyway, because it's, although you can get leather straps that are made by Benjamin James for this watch, but keep the bracelet. The total weight on bracelet, sized up for my wrist, 6.8 inches, as I just mentioned. It is 99 grams. Bang on. The movement options. Right, option 1. The mechanical manual wind is the Swiss Solita SW210-1. 28,800 vibrations an hour. It is hackable. And it has a 42-hour power reserve. Yes, I did go and look up the specs and everything on Calibre Corner, just to confirm, because I wasn't sure about the power reserve and whatnot. Right, anyway. The quartz is a Ronda, a Swiss Ronda 762E. Quartz, hackable, and it has a 10-year battery life. The case itself is brushed and polished, as you'd expect, and the finishing is fantastic. As you can see there, I mean, it's a fully polished bezel, but then it steps down, and then you have brushing, and then you have a polished chamfered edge, then you have more brushing, then you have a polished undercut. So there is plenty of detail. The bracelet is brushed and polished as well. It has chamfered edges that run right down both sides, which is nice. And the centre links are also polished, which are lovely. I apologise about the lighting. This is the best I can get it for today. But this watch is it does come across as a bit of a light show, but it's not overdone. There isn't loads and loads of polishing. I think it's a perfect balance. Right, on the bracelet front, it is, as I mentioned, brushed and polished. Solid links throughout, which is good, which is what you'd expect. For sizing, it's pin and collar, but honestly, it took me less than 5 minutes to size this up. Easy peasy. Big collars in the middle. Oh, it's easy enough. The clasp, it is milled with a pressed upper, and it is finished. It's like brushed in the centre with the logo. Polished edges, well, no edges, but a polished accent there. Brushed on the side, which is good. 3 levels of micro adjust, which is fine. This is the standard clasp that comes with the watch. You can, however, upgrade. Personally, I don't think it's an upgrade. I think you're better keeping this one. But you can change it to a butterfly clasp. Personally, I wouldn't bother with that. I hate butterfly clasps. I think they're a pain in the tits. Right. I've done the bezel. I've mentioned that earlier. Flat sapphire crystal with plenty of AR coating on the underside. With the mechanical version, you get an exhibition display case back. With the quartz, you get this solid, and it's screwed down, not screw down, but screwed down. 4 screws, 1 in each corner, and various etching on the back there. Just standard stuff. But it is nice, and I like the fact that they've brushed it rather than polished it. Although there is like a polish right around the edge, which is another highlight. Very nice. The crown, it's push-pull, as you'd expect. I would have liked to have seen a screw down just to give it a bit more water resistance. but it's proportionate. I would like to have seen it a bit bigger. You know what I mean? Maybe 6mm. But I found it easy enough to use, and there is, I can't do it with my gloves on, but you can grip it easy enough to pull it out and set the time. No date to worry about or anything like that. Talking of water resistance, it is 50 metres, where I like to have seen 100. And they could have achieved that with a screw down crown, I think. But I'm nitpicking. The loom on this is what you'd expect. It's not fantastic. It's no, I mean, it's a sport. I'd call it a dress watch, to be honest with you. And it's BGW9. Excuse me. BGW9. I will put in a loom shot if I've not already. What have I missing? Oh, the friggin' dial. Start of the show. Right. The silver one doesn't come across like this. Wait, I grab this light. It is silver, there's no question. It's no as if I thought it was a white dial or anything like that. I knew, because they actually market the watch as a silver dial, so that's more like realistically how it comes across normally. Too much shadow there. Anyway. It has like, it is textured, and it's like a chevron style. There is a name for this. Heraldry. Probably pronouncing that wrong, but that's what they call it. Applied battens, and you have the Roman numeral there for 12. I'll have a look. All it has is the brand name and the model name, and that's it. And it also says, I can't see it, it says England there along the bottom, which is fine, fair enough. I think you should have put British there instead of England. Freedom!
What will you do without freedom?
Fucking aye, I'm Scottish. Done that. Right, colour options. This is where it gets interesting. Right, you have, first up you have the black dial, which is nice. It's a Fumi dial. Most of them are Fumi dials, apart from this silver one. And I believe the sky blue. Next up is the dark blue, which I do really like. Then my favourite, which is the orange dial. Then you have the purple dial, this silver dial, and because the campaign was funded so well, they added another colourway, which is the sky blue. Warranty wise, I couldn't find anything on the website anywhere about the length of the warranty. So I'm going to guess that it's 2 years. I think 2 years would be the most sensible option. Might be longer, might be shorter. I hope it's not shorter, because 2 years is what the standard should be. I think I've covered absolutely everything. I do like this watch. In fact, I really like this watch. It's gone on my elite list. Would I change anything? No, I think the orange one is sexual, and I would wear that. I would go for the mechanical movement rather than the quartz, but the quartz is, I mean, I've been putting this on because it's always set. Always set. There's no date to worry about or anything like that. It's always at the right time. But just me being me, I would prefer the mechanical. So award wise, I'm going to give it, well, I'm thinking of in the dress watch category and what I've currently got on my elite list. So I'm going to give this a platinum award because I really like it. As I say, would I change anything? One minor thing I would change is, see the bezel, I have that entirely smooth. It's fine as it is polished, but I think entirely smooth instead of these like fake screw holes. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but that would be my choice. And I'd also make a white dial instead of a silver. Right guys, that's basically it. Great watch, highly recommended. Please like, share, subscribe, the usual drivel that I say at the end of the video. And I'll see you in the next video. Toodles!